In the physical world, time moves strictly in one direction. We experience an irreversible forward momentum, an arrow of time. A shattered glass does not spontaneously put itself back together, and you cannot unbite an apple. This physical irreversibility is exactly why tangible money has worked for thousands of years. If you hand over a gold bar to pay for something, the physical transfer is final. You no longer hold the asset. But the digital realm operates under a different set of physics. The internet lacks an arrow of time. Here, pure information isn't governed by physical scarcity. It can be perfectly duplicated, infinitely, at zero cost. This creates a critical flaw for digital finance, known in computer science as the double-spent problem. If information can be copied and pasted, a digital coin could simply be duplicated, allowing someone to spend the exact same money twice. To prevent people from double spending online, society has historically had to rely on centralized institutions. We use banks and payment processors as trusted third parties to manually update master ledgers and dictate exactly who owns what. The vulnerability of this system is that those ledgers are merely lists of information. Because they aren't bound by physical reality, they require total trust in a human institution, not to alter the historical record, print extra currency, or exclude participants. To create a true peer-to-peer internet money that didn't rely on human trust, Satoshi Nakamoto first had to solve a physics problem. He had to figure out how to invent an irreversible digital arrow of time. This is where the Bitcoin network comes in. At its core, Bitcoin operates as a distributed timestamp server. Its primary function is to chronologically sequence events so that everyone agrees on the exact order of transactions, entirely without a central bank. But getting a decentralized network of strangers to agree on a single financial history presents a massive challenge. You cannot rely on an external clock, like a server at Amazon or a government computer. The system requires its own internal, uncheatable measurement of time. Nakamoto's mechanism for building this internal clock is a concept called proof of work. It acts as the bridge connecting the physical universe to the digital realm. Proof of work forces computers to expend electrical energy to guess a complex cryptographic hash. They burn physical energy to win a mathematical lottery. This energy expenditure etches the transaction into a digital block, embedding a physical cost into the data. By requiring computation, this process transforms raw physical energy into an unforgeable chronological digital record. Inside this network, the data itself becomes the physical asset. However, creating a digital clock creates a synchronization problem. If digital time moves too fast, a global decentralized network will fracture. The nodes will fall out of sync and fail to agree on the true history. The limitation here is the speed of light. Data takes physical time to travel through fiber optic cables and bounce across continents to reach different network participants. To account for this, Satoshi introduced a mechanism called the difficulty adjustment. This intentionally limits the speed of the digital clock, dynamically adjusting the math puzzle to target an average of exactly 10 minutes per block. That 10-minute buffer gives every computer on the planet enough time to communicate, sync up, and independently verify the latest transactions. In the event of a disagreement, where two nodes hear about different transactions at the same time, the network defaults to a strict rule. It always adopts the longest chain. That is the ledger mathematically proven to have the most physical CPU effort invested in it. By artificially slowing down digital time, Bitcoin respects the physical limits of our universe. This guarantees that a trustless global network can perfectly agree on a single financial reality. Once established, this reality is fiercely protected. The energy to mine each new block sequentially defends all previous transactions. To alter a past transaction, an attacker must expend enough electricity to completely redo the proof of work for that block and every block chained after it. Digital time travel becomes mathematically impossible. Bitcoin's past is permanently locked. Because this mathematical clock governs the release of new supply, Bitcoin is the first asset in history stuck in time. There is a hard cap of 21 million coins, and the difficulty adjustment ensures they cannot be mined any faster. If the world wants more Bitcoin today, it cannot work harder to produce it. It can only wait for the future. This is a level of absolute scarcity that physical commodities cannot match. If the price of gold rises, we can deploy more machines to dig it out of the ground. With Bitcoin, even if you harnessed the energy of the entire sun, the clock would simply adjust the difficulty to keep the pace at 10 minutes. You cannot dig Bitcoin out of the earth. You can only dig it out of time. This infrastructure creates a scenario where the information is the bearer instrument. Because the time chain provides its own proof of history, you don't need a bank to vouch for a transaction. The data itself proves it is valid and unique. Because the map is now the territory, we can teleport value across the globe as easily as an email. By solving for digital time, Nakamoto created a world where wealth can move at the speed of light, completely bypassing the permission of any central institution. In this trustless digital reality, the information has finally become the money.